anyone to journal um, if I made them write paragraphs. So I created a journal that we have offered for the last 18 years. And it's simple. It's a number system from 1 to 10. It has a calendar on it. It has information on it. It gives you a lot of useful tools to just circle the number where you're at. At the end of a month, you have a graft, and that graft is something that you can show your psychiatrist, and then they understand what's been happening all month long and be able to medicate you properly. But let's go back to medications for a moment. I'm hoping that in a couple of these videos that I can teach you exclusively on medications. I'm not going to do that in this video because I'm kind of new to this right now, videotaping. This is just my third one, and I'm trying to organize it just to be more informative rather than an actual teaching series. So medications is extremely important. There are types of medications. There's antipsychotic medication. There's an antidepressant medication. There's a mood stabilizer, just to name a few. So you would not be taking all of these medications together unless it would depend on what you're dealing with. If you have bipolar disorder and you have bipolar 1, which is you run more manic than you do depressed, or if you're bipolar 2 and you run more depressed than in mania, and or if you have bipolar disorder where you equally have mania and depression at the same time, well, then you would be on different types of medication. You may be on a antipsychotic medication and a mood stabilizer, or you may be on a antidepressant and a mood stabilizer. It depends. It will depend totally on your psychiatrist and the information that you give them, because the important factor about having the right medications is you need to understand what exactly do you have, what is the illness. Do you have bipolar disorder? What type of bipolar disorder? As well as, do you have schizophrenia? You know, what is the illness and what type do you have that indicates what is happening for you personally. If you don't have that information, if you don't take it to your psychiatrist and be able to explain what is happening, then that psychiatrist has to guess. And if they have to guess, that is when you get in trouble with medications, because if you don't give them the proper information, they are not God. They cannot read your mind. They don't know what's happening in your life, and they need you or a support person that can help them to understand what exactly have they seen in the last few weeks that is indicating what type of illness you have, as well as what kind of medications you would need. So that is so very important that you have that information for them. This is where the journal will come in. Now, let's say you have never been diagnosed. Well, it's really difficult for you then to be able to journal and understand what's happening. I tell the class many times that if you haven't been diagnosed, if you're not quite sure what's happening, I encourage them to come to class, and we kind of help them to see different things and to understand. But the only person that really knows what's happening is you. No one else understands that. Only you know what's going on in your mind. Only you know what's going on in your body. No one can look into your mind and see that and explain it to them, but as well as you can. So it's important for you to be educated and understand. The other thing is, when you understand what's happening in your body, you can, if nothing else, write a word, to say, my mind is going from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. It's just bouncing all over the place. And I start something and I can't finish it, and I'm going from place to place. That's called racing thoughts. And racing thoughts is a symptom of mania. The other thing is, if you feel like your mind is going from one thing to the other, and yet you feel depressed also, that's called mixed state. And that's a symptom of mania also. Or if you're going from depression to manic to depression to manic all day long, you're just moving all over, that is a symptom of mania also. So you wouldn't, if you go to the doctor and you say, I'm depressed all the time, and you don't tell them the rest of it because you really don't understand, well, then they may put you on an antidepressant, which will throw you immediately into mania. But if they know that you are also feeling manic and depressed, or you're cycling up and down all the time, or you feel the same, you feel depressed and manic at the same time, they will understand, well, that's a symptom of mania, and they will bring you down, and then that depression part would come up and the rapid cycling will decrease. So it's all these little bits of information that there's no way that I can teach you all this on a video just immediately. And I'm hoping that as I continue on doing these videos, it will become more clear, because you will find that I'm going to repeat some things, but it's important that you understand exactly what's happening. And I encourage you again to please email me, ask me your questions, because I will answer them, and it'll help me to see what it is you're looking for and what you need. It's really important. The journal is key, like I said. And I know that if you're not diagnosed yet and you're trying to figure out what's going on, even though you're not really sure and haven't been educated as yet, the journal can be self-explanatory. Our classes over the years have written a description of what they felt and attach that to a number. So if you look at the journal that we have, and you read over everything that people have felt and you highlight what you felt in your life, you can kind of get a feeling of what the number is and then just circle that number. It's basically easy unless you're an episode, and then it's not quite so easy, but we will help you. We will help you to distinguish the difference. That's why it's so important for you to email us if you're having problems with things, because we can address them and we can email you right back and let you know what to do more rapidly than just on the videos. I will in the future be doing videos on questions and answers, and hopefully be able to address all your questions that you have. I personally am not a doctor. I am someone that cares. I'm someone that is so interested in people and want to help. I am not a doctor, but I do have a psychiatrist, Dr. Ali Mack, who is my advisor and has been my advisor for the last 18 years. And whenever we get into some questions that we're just not sure of, I am not afraid to say I don't know. And I will find out, and then I will let you know from Dr. Max. So it's important you know that. So things that I do teach you are based on information over the years. And as you know, information changes from year to year. There's so much. If you had uh, heard any of my teachings years ago, 15 years ago, I have totally evolved in my understanding and wisdom of mental health issues, and my teaching now is much more mature. And I'm thinking in 10 more years that it'll be even more mature. So we'll just grow together. We'll walk this together. Um, so back to the understanding of the illness you have, I would encourage you to just on our website, you can get teachings there. There's lots of information. I am on Facebook also, which is bipolarinsights.com. And that's our website, sorry, but we're on Facebook. I'm not sure how you get into that. I have someone that takes care of all that techie stuff. Um, but I'm sure you can search for us, and we put different things on there too. Um, with the medications, I just want to touch on this for a minute, because medications is something not to be feared. I understand people have come to me over the years and said, I don't want to be drugged. I don't want to feel terrible. I don't like the way they make me feel. I'm just flatlined. And I agree with them. I don't want you to feel that way either. But the best way that you can get on medications and feel just normal and not have all those side effects is by understanding the medication and understanding your illness. That is the key. We will help you with it and we will lead you through it. It is important. I don't want you to be groggy and tired all the time and all of that. That's just ridiculous. You do not need to feel that way. But the responsibility falls on you. You must understand what's going on in your mind, in your life. You must understand what the medications are and what they're doing, and you need to be able to give the information to your psychiatrist. You cannot go to a psychiatrist and say you're fine and not say anything, or give them the wrong information and then expect them to medicate you properly. It just won't happen. It just won't. It's like any illness at all. If you had cancer and you went to the doctor, you have to tell them what's going on, or they don't know what to look for. It's not any different. So I encourage you. I love you. I care. I will be here until I can't be anymore. And I want you to know you're not alone. Please email us. Please talk to us because we want to help you in any way that we can. And I want you to know that you have value, you have worth, you're somebody. Do not let this illness define you. It's not you. You do not have you are not bipolar. You are not schizophrenia. You are not any other mental illness. It's something you have. It is not who you are, and it never will be. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I will continue to make these YouTubes. Hopefully as I go along, they'll get better. Hopefully as I go along, I won't feel so nervous, but I will continue to do this with you. Thank you so much for listening, and please, please know that you're not alone. I'm right here for you always, always and always. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.